Welcome to the video on Hall effect. So in this video we will be discussing about the application of Hall effect in this semiconductor and what is meant by Hall effect, the derivation for the Hall voltage as well as the Hall coefficient. So here we know that Hall effect is a phenomena in which a force will be created when the electric and magnetic field is applied perpendicular to a material. So here when we come to the semiconductor, in the application of the Hall effect, the Hall effect is used to find the sign of the charge carriers. That is, we can find out whether it is an N-type or P-type material. Similarly, the concentration of the charge carriers, or we can say that the amount of charge carriers present in the semiconductor can be determined. Similarly, the mobility can be measured, and also based on that we can determine the conductivity of the material, and it is used to determine whether the given material is an metal, insulator, semiconductor, and also if it is a semiconductor we can determine whether it is a p-type semiconductor or n-type semiconductor, and it can be used to determine the power flow in an electromagnetic wave. Fine. So consider a semiconductor bar or a semiconductor material. It can be an p-type material or n-type material. Assume that I am applying an electric voltage. The external voltage is applied in the EX direction. So in this diagram you can see here I am applying an electric field. So the electric field is given as Vx, and here the Vx, it indicates that the applied voltage is in this direction, that is I take it as x direction. So it is applied, and also I assume that I have a magnetic field which is perpendicular to this x direction, that is this y direction. So this B suffix y, so B suffix y is the applied magnetic field, and V suffix x is the applied electric field. Now when these two process is happening, so what happens? So we know that in a semiconductor material, when we apply an electric field, so there will be a movement of charge carriers. So the movement of the charge carriers will be from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. So the current flow will be in this direction. So the current will be flowing in this direction. So now what happens is, if I take a p-type material, so the majority carriers are the holes. So the holes will be flowing in this direction. But because of the applied magnetic field, so the holes which is flowing in this direction will be deflected in this direction. Similarly, the electrons which is flowing in this direction will be deflected here. So due to the deflection, so there will be an voltage created, and that or there will be a potential difference created. So so the potential difference created will be such that it is opposed to the applied magnetic field, and at equilibrium condition the applied magnetic field and the voltage developed will be equal to will be same. So the force on the charged particle, that is due in the magnetic field, when I apply a magnetic field, the force on the charged particle is given by the Lorentz force, which is given as F is equal to QV into B. So due to both the magnetic field as well as the electric field, the force is given by F is equal to Q epsilon plus QV into B. So at equilibrium condition, this QE and QVB will be equal to same. So that effect is called as Hall effect. That is, when a conductor carrying a current is placed in a transverse magnetic field, an electric field is produced inside the conductor. So then electric field will be produced inside the conductor, meaning that this is a conductor I have here. If it is placed in a magnetic field, so the magnetic field is given as this direction, and now the electric field is produced. So the electric field produced is this electric field. It is produced in a direction normal to the both current. So this current is due to my applied voltage. This is due to the applied electric field E, and you have a magnetic field. Because of the electric and magnetic field, there will be a generated electric field. The generated electric field is called as my EH. This phenomena is called as Hall effect, and the generated voltage is called as Hall voltage. So Hall effect is nothing but generation of my Hall voltage. So here in this diagram we take an n-type semiconductor material. So in the n-type semiconductor material, majority carriers are my electrons. So these electrons will be there, and similarly the applied electric field is B. So there is a movement of charge carriers because of the applied X. So the charge created, that is the voltage which is created due to the Hall effect, is given here. This is the voltage created. Plus will be here, minus will be here. So this voltage is called as my Hall voltage. Similarly, if I take a p-type semiconductor material, p-type semiconductor material, the polarity will be different. Now we will derive what is meant by the Hall voltage. So we assume that I have an applied electric field, and the force due to the potential difference is given as E into EH. That is, the generated voltage is EH, and it is given as minus E into EH. Force due to the magnetic field is given as minus B into E into V, where B is nothing but the flux density, E is nothing but the charge of the carriers, and V is the drift velocity. Now at equilibrium condition, both these forces will be equal. So E into EH is equal to B into E into V. So we get EH is equal to BV. So the EH is nothing but the generated electric field. And similarly, if I take the direction, if we take it as an electric field in the x direction and the magnetic field in the z direction, then the voltage is given as EY is equal to Vx into Bz. So now the EY is nothing but Vx into Bz. Now replacing Vx, that is the drift velocity of the electron in the x direction, by the carrier density Jx, current density Jx divided by Q into P naught. Here we take P naught because we assume that it is an p-type semiconductor material. So we can write it as EY is equal to RH into, where RH is nothing but my Hall coefficient 1 by Q into P naught. So we can write it as EY is equal to, that is the generated voltage is equal, electric field is equal to RH into Jx into Bz. So from this equation we can find out P naught is equal to 1 by Q into RH. Replace RH by EY by that is replace RH by EY by Jx into Bz. So we will be getting finally P naught is equal to Ix Bz Q T VAB. So VAB is nothing but the generated voltage which is measurable. We can directly measure it. Q is nothing but the thickness of the device. Q is nothing but the charge of the charge of the carriers. T is the thickness of the device. I is the developed current which can be measured. Bz is the flux density. So since all these parameters are known to us, we can find out what is the charge carrier or what is the amount of charge carrier present in this. So based on this, we can find all the other parameters of the semiconductor devices. Thank you.